Today is Saturday, May 27th, 2017. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is the listener feedback show for the Survivor Game Changers finale.
It is finally here. Joanne and I are cozied up here on the love seat. We've got a great view.
As usual.
In the family room, got a great view into the backyard to our cherry tree, which the birds and the squirrels have picked clean. And we got some business to do, even though this is the unofficial start of summer. Technically, by the calendar, it doesn't come till a little later there in June. But Memorial Day weekend is the unofficial beginning of summer, certainly for us here in the state. And it's an important weekend to remember the folks that have given their lives in service to us. So that we have all these great freedoms and we're able to pursue our happiness. And one of the big parts of the happiness for you and me is Survivor, and more importantly, the Survivor Fans Podcast, and especially the listener feedback show, where we gather together to hear other super fans' views and thoughts and predictions. And some people are happy with the finale, some people not so much, and that's perfectly okay. We've got a whole wide range of feedback. We've got a special block of people who called while they were watching or just after they were watching with a lot of emotion. There's definitely some emoting going on in the feedback this week. People expressing their grief over some of the things that have happened or the hilarity of some choices that they made leading into the finale for their JSFL score and what happened to it. All that's just ahead of us as we gather together one more time to look back on Survivor Game Changers Season 34 before we finally put it to rest. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's kick it off with Pete.
Hey, Joanne and Stacy. Pete from Boston here. Oh, my God. That is the way to end a fantastic season of Survivor. Let's throw a big woo! Baby. Oh, that was a barn-burning, doozy-woozy finale. Let's get right into it. Let's start right away with the Cirie historic moment there, which I think will never happen again. But there were 3 idols, 2 of them were ties. Still shocked he didn't stupidly give it to a Culpepper. I was glad that never happened. But then you had that, you had legacy advantage with Sarah, and Culpepper had immunity. And what a shame, Cirie by default was basically voted out. That was just so sad. But you know what? I think she's hit full circle, and as Probst keeps saying, the woman that got off the couch has really become quite an inspiration for not just women, but men, I think, as well, like myself, who have inspired me to keep pushing for what you believe in. Love Cirie. And as far as the Aubrey vote out, that was, some might say predictable, but still, we had no idea, where Sarah's head at was, or if Ty was going to flip the script. I mean, that was just back and forth. Aubrey was just too much on the bottom the whole game. But then again, she was a threat to win. She played under the radar. She was likable. She's good in challenges and a great strategist. And then the Ty vote out was another surprise. I still don't know why Culpepper didn't get rid of Sarah. He probably didn't see her gameplay, and he underestimated it like many did. But, Ty is just an emotional wreck. I love him to death, but, man, I think he's just too good for this game, meaning too nice. But he went off in style to me and with class. I love that they have this new thing with the jury and the final three, and they had just about every jury member speak more than once to all the final three. Well, except for poor Troyzan. That really was sad. Troyzan wasn't even a part of the finale, really. I mean, he's a likable guy, and hey, he made it to final three, living the dream. He just didn't do anything other than stay with Culpepper. I loved hearing Michaela going at Brad, you and Ozzy going at Sarah, you know, this and that, a lot of back and forth. Even Haley, ones you wouldn't expect, had some good things to say. A very good reunion show, so now we know what the tiebreaker is, and looking forward to Healers, Hustlers, and Heroes. That'll be Battle of the H's, just like New Caller, Old Caller, White Caller. Can't wait for this newbie season, guys. What do you think? And my question is, will they go back to this jury thing at a final three again? I love it. What a season, baby. Woo!
All right, Pete. Yeah, I bet you they will use that jury format again.
Probably, unless they think that the people they have on the jury won't be as good at it as these guys were.
Oh, I see. You think maybe they changed it because of the level
caliber
that
of players they had on the jury.
I still have mixed feelings about it.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
I thought you really liked it.
Well, I struggled to understand it at first, and then I think after doing the interviews, we got a better understanding of it. I don't know that I quite got it until we got to do the interviews, and we made that a key question for everyone that we talked to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure that it... I could hear some of the negatives that Culpepper and Troyzan were talking about, I don't know if it's that much better. Or it was interesting to hear their different perspectives.
I got more all-around information somehow. Mm-hmm. Or maybe it's because I think...
I'm not sure there aren't still duds, though. Like, did Debbie say anything of substance? Right? There's still
not as far as I was concerned.
That happens with the other format, too. You'll get people... I don't know, I can't remember what goofy question it was. Andrea asked, what color would you be, or what animal would you be, or something like that. You know, when they've made up their minds, sometimes I'm talking about in a previous season. I think that was in Caramoan. It was something goofy like that. So there's people who do that, or pick a number or whatever, a Wigglesworth kind of thing. You hopeful that they'll use it again? I imagine it could work with newbies.
I would like to see it again, just, to have something different, and if we decide we don't like it, then maybe we'll hope they go back.
Yeah, I don't think it's clear to me that it's great or awful. I think we need some more samples to really get a sense of it.
That's what I was trying to say.
All right.
Samples.
There we go.
But either way, I don't think it'll matter. We'll still get information, and
yes,
it'll still be good.
Thanks, Pete. Next up, we've got an email from Ian in Woodland Hills, California. I love this season. Sarah deserved to win. Her moves were Cochran level. She may not be the most liked, but definitely the most deserving, most strategic, and she owned up to her strategy. I think Varner handled his mistake the classiest way possible. I still think he's a good person. I respect Culpepper for apologizing to Ty, but I still think he's a bully. For most of the season, I was impressed with Brad, but after he started winning immunities, we saw his true colors start to show. Ty played a horrible game, but at least he understood he had to do something different. Being deceitful is just not in his nature. I'm still on the fence about Michaela. I loved her first season, really disliked her attitude this season, but her exit interview and the reunion show really impressed me. She seems to know her shortcomings and is willing to work to fix them. She definitely says all the right things. I only hope that she practices them. For a young person, that's all I can ask for. I respect Troyzan for realizing he was a GOAT. He handled the writing on the wall with class. I have to say something about the final votes for Brad. I think Debbie voted out of spite. She was unstable the whole season, so I don't expect her to make a rational vote. I still don't think Ozzy understands this game. While he's a physical beast, his social game is non-existent. Voting for Brad shows his lack of understanding of Sarah's game. I can only respect Sierra's vote. She was truly backstabbed and manipulated by Sarah, and she and Brad were partners for a long time. I thoroughly enjoyed this season and your podcast. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the final tribal format. I thought there was some great dialogue compared to past seasons. Could be a result of the jury being a higher caliber on the final. There you go. On the final three, or the final three all being well spoken. Have a great summer. Thanks, Ian. Yeah, I think Joanne and you, Ian, are right that it's probably that it did go well is an example. It was provided by the caliber of the people that were there. Well, and
you could even tell at the reunion show the people that spoke and how well they did
Probst was praising them for doing such a good job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they coached them
he felt like he has struggled with that part and just getting them to talk and get their point out in 20 seconds, which is really all he wants. He just wants it and to move. And it's like, hit your line, hit your mark, hit your line. But they evidently did quite well because he was very pleased with them.
Well, and Ian was talking about how Brad, after he started winning immunities, reverted back some in his personality. And I thought when we were rewatching something while we were having breakfast this morning, I saw that and I said, that's a common thing.
Yep.
When you win immunity, you just feel like you're all powerful.
Yeah.
And we saw Andrea do it when she won.
Fell prey to it. Yeah. This season.
So I think that's probably a common thing. You're so excited and the adrenaline and you just think you're all
brimming
powerful.
With power. Yeah.
And you are in that moment as far as
you're invulnerable. I don't know that you have any power actually. That might be the misplay on that.
Well, that's what that seems to be what they feel though.
Mm-hmm.
Is that I'm in charge.
I can make some moves now.
Yeah. It's like, that could get you in trouble. But
thanks again, Ian. Next up, we got a call, and we're going to hit a block here. Where, at least with the audios, we're going to hit a block where people are calling after they watched it or while they're watching. They're just so excited they went ahead and sent some audio while it was going down for them. So here we are with Shea.
Hi, Joanne. Hi, Stacy. This is Shea. I'm not even done watching the episode yet. Well, I just have to say, right now, Brad's got immunity. He gets to decide who goes home, and he's sitting here talking to Troy Zan. Brad is saying that the person that's done him wrong the most is Ty, and that's who he's sending home because that's what matters is who screwed him over. No, what matters is who you think you can beat. And out of Ty and Sarah, I think it's Ty that he can beat. Most definitely not Sarah. So he's letting vengeance choose who he picks over who he has a chance against. And on top of that, Royzan's sitting here saying, well, if it's going to be Ty, then let's just go ahead and let him know right now so there's no stress and he can just start to deal with it now. And Brad is like, no, I'm going to let him sweat it out, make him think he's got a chance. So Brad, who has come this far in the very end, is potentially fixing to send home one of the only people he can beat, and he's going to send them to the jury angry. I just don't know where his head's at. But apparently, according to him, his idol makes him Superman, so I guess he knows best. Can't wait to see how this goes. Bye. Hey, this is Shea. I know I called right in the middle of the show last night, ranting and raving about Brad. I'm calmer now. I think the show was excellent. I think the win went to exactly who it should have gone to. Congratulations, Stacy. She definitely, without a doubt, played the very best game. I'm glad that people recognize that. I feel like Brad managed to fool all of us and had all of us listeners going, oh, he's so different this time around, only to pull the curtains back and expose the same type of guy he was the first time around in the last 24 hours of the show. He was just so hateful and uncaring and domineering, and I felt so bad for little Ty, and he deserved an apology, and I'm glad he got one. It was Brad's to lose, and he did. He decided to go with someone he had no chance against because he let anger rule the roost. So his loss. Sarah's win. Glad it went that way, and I'm sure there was some celebrating going on at your house. Not only am I sad that the show is over, but I also know what it means for the podcast, and I can't stress enough how much this podcast and the other listeners mean to me. It brings a certain joy to my life every week that I miss when it's not available. So we'll be looking forward to next season, not only for the show, but for you guys too. Okay, everybody have a great summer.
Thanks, Shea. We appreciate that. It's very kind. And Brad was just sure that Ty was way more well-liked and is a bigger threat. So it gives us...
Well, like he said at the final tribal to Troy, we really, read the jury wrong.
Yep. Next up, we got an email from IronDave in SoCal.
Aw, man. I was so close to winning the side challenge. That was a fun one. If I had not defaulted the previous week, maybe I would have pulled it off. I had triple hernia surgery last Wednesday, so it totally slipped my mind. #whoops. Thanks for a great season of podcasts and for all the time and care you put into it. As for the season itself, I am firmly in the middle on it. I enjoyed it as episodes, but as a whole, it felt lacking in something. Perhaps a continuing storyline? Still, I think Sarah's an excellent winner and played an almost flawless game. So what am I complaining about? Have a great summer, everyone. IronDave, signing off. All right, thanks, Dave.
Pulling the old triple hernia excuse, huh?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I don't know if you got my message, but I sent a message that when he had the surgery that day and said, on Wednesday, are you kidding me?
Oh, jeez.
What are you thinking?
Yeah, definitely. Well,
And hope you heal soon.
Yes, I hope you're recuperating just fine.
But I knew Dave would understand because we've hung out with him before. So.
Next up, we got a call from Crystal. Well, I think we got about 4 calls from Crystal. Here we go.
Here we go.
I haven't made it to the end, but I am just watching. Everybody's safe, and they're talking about... Why wouldn't they cancel tribal council? Okay, I gotta get to the end. Bye. Oh, this is Crystal from Georgia. Why is Jeff dragging this out? Okay, I'm gonna call back. This is Crystal from Georgia again. I can't believe they didn't just cancel tribal council. This is crazy. I can't believe Cirie went out that way. Oh my gosh. I know it's epic, but still can't believe it. I have to go to bed because I have to go to work tonight. And while I'm getting ready for work, I'm going to watch the rest of it. And I'll probably have to call you guys back again. I'm super sorry. Bye.
Hey, it's Crystal from Georgia again. I finally finished watching the end of it, and I'm super happy that Sarah won. Debbie just has like a major crush on Brad. I was just remembering her interview with you guys and thinking like she thinks that she was some kind of Monica replacement. So weird. But I really liked Ozzy's reasoning for backing Brad, and I think that it was legit. I thought Brad's mustache was weird at the finale, and the fact that he kept wearing like a potato sack during the game at the end. And I really enjoyed this season, and they did a good job with all the game changers. I liked it in the finale, the tribal council, and how they changed it up. There's like a part of me that wishes to just hear people talk and berate them like they usually do and try to like make a stunning performance. Those are some of my favorite ones. But, they still could have done that and gotten their what they wanted to say in if they had planned for that. So I think it went over well. It was good to have a conversation. Went a little quick to me. It felt like it went a little quick. But anyway, it was fun. It was fun listening to the podcast with you guys. My life's still crazy. Thanks for being there and being a constant in my life. And I'm heading out to Afghanistan in a couple of weeks again for the 4th time. So it'll be a good time. And I look forward to Survivor coming back. Bye.
Thanks, Crystal. Wow, back to Afghanistan. I love that she called, and her response was, why don't they just cancel tribal council?
Yeah.
They can't get rid of Cirie like that. That was awesome.
Oh, that was cute.
I enjoyed all of that. Thank you, Crystal.
Yeah, and the whole Brad mustache thing, we both commented about it when we were watching, like, what was he thinking? Mm-hmm. What was Monica thinking? Why didn't you let him have that mustache? Anyway, the thing that really I didn't understand and threw me was seeing the pictures on the red carpet right after the reunion show. He had shaved.
Yeah.
He had no mustache.
Or maybe it was fake and he took it off.
No, I looked at it to see if I thought it looked fake, but it didn't. So who runs somewhere and shaves it off?
It's a ritual. Maybe it was just a ritual.
I don't understand.
He wanted to get rid of the last vestige.
I just wish I'd seen those pictures on the red carpet before we talked to him. I would have asked him.
Yeah, I don't think I picked up on him wearing the sack either. I didn't really.
Oh, you didn't notice that?
Didn't register. I didn't think to ask about that either.
Huh. No, they all were kind of making, it was cold, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
They were all making things to kind of have a little something to drape
Gotcha.
over. And, I mean, Sarah had Zeke's jacket, and Cirie had a sweater, but Brad had some kind of sack.
Thank you, Crystal, for all that fun.
Stay safe.
Yeah, definitely stay safe. Headed back over there your fourth time. My goodness. Okay, next up, we got an email from Mikeybear in New Jersey. Hi, Joanne and Stacy. Greetings from across the pond. Okay, so as a public service announcement to all your listeners, if you have CBS All Access, it does not work here in the UK. Oh, sorry about that. So it is now Friday, and I still haven't been able to see the finale. I tried YouTube and iTunes, no dice. I'm going to have to look into a VPN adapter that Stacy mentioned when I get home on Sunday. But first, I'll have to watch the finale and reunion when I get home. I do know that Sarah won and that Brad was the runner-up with 3 votes. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this all played out and how the final tribal went down. Thanks for all you do and for providing us with great content this season. Thank you, Mikeybear. Safe trip home, and hope you enjoy the finale as much as we did.
Yeah, they were flying to Paris today. So.
Wow. Okay.
Yay.
Very nice. Yeah. Next up, we got a call from Victoria.
Hi, Joanne and Stacy. This is Victoria from Maryland. Wow. What a finale. I do have to admit that I am happy that Sarah won, just because I was just so happy that Brad didn't. First things first, though, beginning of the episode, the first tribal council with Cirie going home was just amazing. Like, that was beautiful, seeing her go home with all 95,000 idols being played. So the first survivor to go out without being voted out, amazing. Cirie, I just love her. The second one, I did not understand at all, and I rarely understand Ty, so in the decisions he makes, very emotional during the finale. Yeah, I didn't get it. You give Aubrey the immunity idol, but then vote her out, and you can throw her name out the next tribal council. I don't get it. But anyway, I digress. As soon as I seen Culpepper say, "Oh, hey, thinking about voting out Ty," I was like, he lost. Like, I was like, why would you keep Sarah? Why would you go to the finale with Sarah? I just didn't understand that at all. Like, take 2 votes. Everybody else does. I said, and I tweeted it out millions of times, I said, yep, Sarah just won the game. Best part of the finale, Michaela, keeping it real as she always does. Worst part of the finale, well, the final tribal council, Debbie, and even Ozzy. I didn't agree with that at all. Debbie, is there like a fan page or like a petition that we can have? We never have to see Debbie again. I can't do any more Debbie. I've had enough. Great finale. I would like to see Pro kind of talking to everybody. Wish I would have had more info. The Michaela hate, even though I have to go to bed, so I'm pretty sure he's going to talk to her. It's like 10:44 right now. Yeah, I just kind of want to see what she has to say. Oh, she made that twist of a jury fun. I still don't understand why Brad took Sarah to the finale. Had he been smart, he should have put Troy Van over there so that he'd have an extra vote. Maybe would have changed the game up with Ty and Sarah there. I mean, I personally wouldn't have took Sarah anyways. I would have took Ty and Troy, just because I don't think that Ty would have did anything. Just like Troy didn't do anything for me. I find it hard on a game with the title being Game Changers. I don't really feel like anybody really changed the game per se, like I would have wanted them to. I do know, like, Sarah did make the Sierra call and getting her to give her the legacy, and she was always in the middle. I get it, but I don't know. When I think of Game Changers, like, I just think of things like that JT vote out, which I know had to do with Brad, the Sandra vote out. Things like that to me is like game changing, but I just can't wait till September for the new season. Finally, I'll be able to play JSF again because I'll remember to sign up for it. My first time not playing it actually was nowhere near getting it correct anyways with my vote out. So, all right, guys, I'll talk to you guys in September. Bye.
All right, thanks,
Bye.
Victoria.
Yeah, maybe I can interest you in a side challenge next season too, given how well you did this season. You might want to give that some thought. Next up, we got an email from Shelley in Australia.
Hi, Joanne and Stacy. The episode was spoilt for me, so I won't be watching until I calm down a bit.
Oh, bummer.
I heard Brad will never go back. Good. I'm over him and Monica. Do you think Cirie will play again? If Sandra made it to Final 3, would she have won again? Is there anyone you would like to see back? I had the feeling that Cirie was not going to play again, that she wouldn't play
that was
again.
the end.
Yeah, I kind of did the way Probst handled, you know, getting her the accolades and all of that. I kind of thought, they weren't going to invite her back. And so I don't know if she's talked about it or not. I don't remember if we asked her that.
If she'd be willing to put herself through that again.
Exactly, because she was so much more emotional this time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it took a bigger toll on her.
And the lack of food out there this time, and just having coconut and not much else. I think that's why, one reason that she and Ty and, the others, the emotions were, their bodies were suffering. Like Cirie said, she didn't eat for 16 days because she couldn't handle the coconut.
Yep, she didn't have anything else. So her other questions, if Sandra made it Final 3, would she have won?
Yes.
I'm going to say no.
Well, it depends on who she was at Final 3 with.
Exactly.
But for Sandra to get to Final 3, come on. That would be quite defeat. They'd have to recognize that as
it could be someone basically
amazing.
Saying, I rode her back the whole way.
Oh, no. Well, like I said, again, it's who she went with and how they played, because I think this jury was looking for good gameplay.
Is there anyone you want to see back that you can think of across all the different folks?
Well,
I have an easy answer.
I love Malcolm.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be you don't have to limit it to just these folks. If there's someone else.
You're talking about anyone?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you obviously have somebody in mind.
No, I'm interested in seeing new people, and then we can think about that. I don't want to see people coming back to play again. I want to break from these folks.
Oh, well, certainly no time soon.
I want to build up a stable, whole new crew of people who had never played before.
Maybe in another 8 or 10 years down the road.
So my answer is no.
But eventually, there's people that I wouldn't mind see getting a chance. But like Stacey says, I really like the idea for new people to get a chance.
I want to break from the returnees. Okay, back to Shelley.
I'd like to see Zeke back. I also want to see if Caleb can make it past day 9. As they say, third time's the charm. Does anyone else think CBS needs to make the reunion show longer? I'm sure it used to be. I'm looking forward to the next time on Survivor.
Thanks, Shelley. I don't think it's ever been longer, by the way.
But it hasn't been longer in time.
It's always been an hour-long show, as far as I can recall.
For the reunion, yeah. Yeah, it might have seemed longer, but I don't think so. Maybe that's a good sign that it went so quickly. When I'm enjoying something, it just seems to fly right by. But if it's very slow moving, then it seems to take forever.
Yeah, if they hadn't had to deal with the Zeke Varner moment, then they would have had time to talk to everybody, I think.
Yeah, I think so, too.
So they've been doing better. Thanks again, Shelley. Next up, we got a call from Crazy Jody.
You're already laughing.
Yeah.
Hey, Survivor family. This is Jody in Brisbane with Helen. Stepping in, and we just finished watching the episode, and oh my god. So both of us had Cirie to win, and we both screwed the pooch pretty hard. But what's worse, sorry, Stacey, just cut off.
No way.
Oh Jesus, I'm pretty sure I have less points than the nearest person to me did. Yes. Or maybe the same, I think, What song am I singing? Hey guys, it's Jody. I've calmed down a little bit. I'm just listening to the feedback shows. A couple of things. Am I understanding it correctly that Ty ate a chicken? Is that right? I thought he was a vegetarian. I'm just a little confused. So there's that. Funny that the only people who have a problem with the new format of Final Tribal are the two people that were unsuccessful. Even more funny that one of them is a trial lawyer who thought he had it all wrapped up in the bag but couldn't manage, it seemed like he was intimidated by having to change people's opinion. Isn't that his job? Concerned for Ty that Sia might come looking for a refund if he's now a chicken eater. I think I scored 2 points for the whole of the finale. Yay. I couldn't let it go. I couldn't let Cirie go. I just needed her to win. I just really did. And I couldn't have imagined that Ty was going to play both idols at 6, one for himself and one for someone else. It didn't make sense to me that he saved Aubrey and then on the next vote got rid of her. Why? Just keep that idol and keep yourself safe. What's the matter? I don't know. So the burning question that nobody asked Brad Culpepper, why did he dress like an angry accountant for the finale show? I need answers. So I've got my song that I need to sing and I've never heard it before, but I'm going to give it a red hot go. Oh, gosh. All right. I will have it ready for the next season. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Oh, thanks, Jody. I like that. A red hot go. Excellent. Well, we are very much looking forward to that. Next up, we got an email from Rashmi in Perth. Hello, Joanne and Stacy and all my Survivor friends. Another season is over with the predictable winner, Sarah. Even though she was my pick, she's definitely not one of my favorite players. This season started off on a high with great gameplay by Sandra, long live the queen, and hilarious move by JT. However, once these big personalities left and the gender gate was over, the season was quite meh. It will be one that will always be remembered for Zeke being outed. I was happy to hear that Jeff Varner got a job and he is on the mend. As I had said earlier, Brad the Leopard never lost his spots. What a terrible man. I do not like bullies. It was difficult seeing Ty being treated the way that he was. Seeing him being bullied to tears just soured the whole season for me. Ty is a gentle soul, and he can't fight back as he is not an aggressive alpha male, nor as articulate, so he gets beaten down. So Brad states that Ty was against his alliance. However, Brad and his cronies first voted against Ty. Others flip-flopped along the way, just like the winner. However, the moment Ty does the same, he cannot be trusted. I'm sorry, but the manipulation of Ty by Cirie was also quite ugly as well. She had been trying to con him first, and when Ty made a move, she attacked him. Ty makes a move to vote out Aubrey, knowing that her performance at jury is strong, so again he gets branded as a traitor. However, for another player, it would be a great move. When I see such behavior, I wonder where is the line between gameplay and pure intimidation. Sadly, we as a society are becoming more aggressive and intolerant. By the way, I would have loved to see Sarah trying to make fire. I suppose being a criminal doesn't entail having basic survival skills. I read somewhere that Sarah was never going to go along with Ty at the Final Four as she had personal items belonging to Brad and Troy to ensure her safety. Sarah then returned the wedding ring and bracelet to Brad and Troy's Ann respectively. Best moments of the season, Sandra and her trash talk, Tribal Theater by Michaela, Cutie Pie Liam, and the moniker Pole Pepper. Beautiful scenery from Fiji. Thank you, Joanne and Stacy, for another wonderful season of podcasts. Have a wonderful break. Everyone keep safe, happy, and smiling. Cheers. Thanks, Rashmi. Next up, we got a call from Parker.
Hey, it's Parker from Indiana. This wasn't my favorite finale. I mean, it was good in terms of it was long, but it didn't feel long. As it did well, I guess. It's not the outcome, because I thought that Sarah was good. I'm just so bummed that Cirie didn't win. I mean, she's the last actual game changer. One of the few people in this cast that actually changed the game. This one should have been reserved for game changers, and not everybody here was a game changer. It was a fine season. I don't think it's top 10. I won't look back on the season and be like, oh yeah, that's one of my favorites. No, it was fine. Probably would have been higher if there was actual game changers in it, and there were. They just got picked off early, and then Cirie didn't win, and so I don't know. Sarah, like I said, I'm happy for her. I thought she played very well. Brad, he got really, really Brad-ish, I guess, towards the end. That Brad we all know and hate. Yeah, so that wasn't too fun to watch. But congratulations on making it into the group of people that won 5 individual meaning challenges in one season. And then Troy's and I felt bad for him. He did nothing, but I felt bad for him because everybody was just like, acting like he wasn't even there at the final tribal council. Except Michaela, the Ponderosa Michaela, it's so funny and so amazing. I'm like, where were you this whole game? I would have rooted for you if you would have acted like this whole time. And then with my Janice Val, I put what I wanted to happen, not what I thought would happen. That's probably why I'm last in the side challenge. That'll be fun. I enjoyed this finale, kind of. It was sad. I did not, however, like the new tribal council thing, final tribal council thing. I felt like it was kind of like bullying because everybody could just gang up on one person and bully them, and so I didn't really like it. I mean, the turnout was good. Good for Sarah. Congratulations. Next season looks interesting. Oh, Survivor, when will you learn? A theme doesn't make a season. A cast does. If you cast good people, we'll be happy. But you don't need a theme. But I guess I couldn't go with Survivor Fiji because they've already had that. So, But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for next season, kind of. Hopefully it'll be good. Yeah, I feel like it was a good finale. Reunion show was good. I'm just so bummed that Cirie didn't win. That would have been so cool, so awesome for Cirie to win. And then you're just like, yay! But no, Cirie didn't. And I'm last in the side challenge. So that's fun. All right. See you guys next time. And thanks for putting up with all this crazy Super Survivor fans doing, and Stacy.
Thank you, Parker. And we're looking forward to your song, too.
I don't think Parker sounded too excited.
No, he didn't. He wasn't ready to give it a red hot go, was he? That should be fun.
Oh, you'll enjoy it, Parker.
Yeah, you'll have a good time. Go get creative. I know you're crazy creative. You'll have a good time with it. Next up, we got an email from Jack in California.
Hi, Survivor fans. That was quite a finale. I'm not surprised with the winner, and I think Sarah has deserved it. The fallout from the previous tribal council was quite dramatic, but was interesting to see. Why would Ty bring up that he had 2 hidden idols? I would have still kept quiet about them and used them when I needed to, not share them with Brad and Troy, especially after the way Brad was treating him. I feel really bad about Cirie and the way she left the game this time. No votes against her, but everyone else was safe because of having immunity. Well, by being a legend, she took it in stride, which was great to see. During that last and final immunity challenge, I found it odd that when showing how to run it, they showed the number part of it, but didn't explain where it comes into play and to win all of those immunities, or he most likely would have gone home. It wouldn't have been a great twist to Final Four if it did turn out to be a tie. Final Four fire-making challenge would have been cool to see.
I agree.
I don't know about you guys, but I actually got a bit more feedback from the open tribal discussion rather than one-on-one questions like the past seasons. I would think this format has been quite formal and everyone can talk about specifics. I think they should do this more. Sarah deserved to win because she played the game hard and did stand up for her actions to get her to the point of winning. As for the reunion show, I knew they would go back and talk about the Zeke outing as a trans. It was a great conversation, and I'm glad both sides, how Varner found a new job and has been getting back onto his feet. Next season's theme is interesting and based on the preview shown. It seems like we might have another David, which I will talk more about when the JABBIC show arrives for next fall. Take care, and looking forward to hearing how others felt about this season, and see you next time. All right, thanks, Jack.
So you're talking about the surgeon or the bellhop? Okay, I'm looking forward to your JABBIC input. Next up, we got audio from Ronda.
Hi, Joanne and Stacy. Hi, everyone. It's Rhonda from Portland. I thought that was a satisfying ending, as good as it could be, considering that Cirie didn't win. I don't know about anyone else, but I actually shed a tear in my cold, cold heart when she went out. I thought that was really, really emotional. I don't know what else to say about it. It was difficult to watch, and I'm glad that she got the kudos that she deserves. I don't know what to call it, but you're gonna get Cirie Fields to go out, then that's the way to do it, I suppose. I thought the editing was bad from the beginning, and that as soon as Brad, why are we calling him Culpepper a 3-syllable word when we could be just saying Brad? Isn't that stupid? That's stupid. Let's stop doing that, please. Let's just call him Brad. His name is Brad. I thought as soon as Brad started treating Ty poorly, then I knew that there was no way that Brad was winning. So I thought the editors were either doing a good job or a bad job in telegraphing his story. Troy versus Troy Zan. What are we doing adding extra syllables to things, you know? Let's just cut to the chase. I thought, his story has been telegraphed from the beginning, right? But he did kind of redeem himself towards the end, and I've never been a big fan of his, but I did really appreciate his, I don't even know what I'm saying. I did appreciate him at the end saying, I realize I'm not winning, but I just appreciate being here. So I liked that. I don't have any thoughts about next season. You know, I hate everything. So I'm just, whatever. I'm just going to complain about it when it comes, and complain about it while it's there. And what are hustlers? To me, a hustler's like a pool player. So I don't know. Anyway, I've enjoyed the feedback and everyone and most of this season, and I hope everyone has a good summer. And Joanne and Stacy, thanks for another great year, and talk to y'all when we talk to you. Okay, bye-bye.
Thanks, Rhonda. See, without Culpepper, you can't get Pull Pepper, though. So, there's that. Yeah.
I was going to say something.
Oh, sorry. Knocked it clean out of your head.
Clean out of my head.
Mm-hmm.
Dang it. I was about to say it.
Something about all the regret that Cirie didn't get to win that everyone's expressed. Is that it?
No.
No, not even close.
Dang it.
You're going to wish her luck with all the kittens.
I don't. Well, I do wish her luck with all the kittens. They're adorable.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it'll either come back or it won't. Dadgummit brain.
Something about Rhonda being a cat lady? No.
You're making it worse. Quit.
All right. How about an email from Sophie in Texas? Good morning, Joanne and Stacy and lovers of Survivor. I haven't had a chance to watch the finale. It's part nerves and part sadness that it's ending. Plus, life has been busy. My doggy did take a turn for the worse and passed away. Plus, my water boiler pipes exploded. Goodness, you're just having a lot of tragedy in your life lately. For some reason, all week, my thoughts kept returning to Ty and his game. It's been a fast-paced season. Thanks for everything. I look forward to watching and hearing all your insight. Take care, all. And Joanne, I hope your mom's feeling better.
Oh, thank you, Sophie. And I hope things are going better for you this summer. And sorry for your loss.
I hope you all enjoyed the finale, and I'll see you next season. Thanks, Sophie. Next up, we got a quick call from Marla-n-Sarah, or Sarah and Marla.
Stacy, hi, Survivor friends. This is Sarah, and I haven't watched Survivor yet, so everybody have a great summer.
Hi, Joanne and Stacy. Hi, Survivor friends. Now this is Marla. I literally recorded Sarah's feedback on the sideline of her soccer game. We are like a cautionary tale for not letting your child do too many activities. We have still not watched the finale of Survivor. And just so you know, if you haven't watched the finale yet and you don't want it to be ruined for you, you can't go on any social media at all. And it's sort of great. I hope you all have a wonderful summer. And Joanne and Stacy, thank you so much for all you do. You brighten our lives in a way that you will never know. We will look forward to seeing you in the fall. Sarah's hoping the season doesn't vote out all their tween eye candy quite as early as they did this time, because now I think she sort of feels like it's watching her parents play Survivor, which is not that interesting to her. So we hope you're all well. Take good care, and we will talk to you in the fall. Bye.
Excellent. Thank you, Marla and Sarah. Hope you have a great summer, too.
Brighten us, too, and we'll talk to you in the summer, I'm sure.
Next up, we got an email from Ed in Milwaukee.
Joanne and Stacy, kudos to Sarah. She earned the win, and if I were on the jury, I would have voted for her. I came into the final fully happy and content to see any of the final 6 win except Ty. Ty is a great person, but I don't feel that he is a good overall Survivor player. Unlike Joanne, I like Culpepper, and several years ago, I voted for both him and Troyzanne to join the cast of Survivor Second Chances. I felt that Culpepper showed major growth this season, but I was heartbroken in the way he treated Ty this episode. That was totally uncalled for and stupid. I applaud Ty for standing up to Culpepper. Culpepper should be given more credit for some of the things that he accomplished. Culpepper won. I can't do that without thinking of Ronda. Brad won 5 individual immunity challenges, but it should be noted that most immunity challenges are physical. Who would have ever thought that Culpepper was a puzzle master? Mm-hmm. In a CBS Extra video, Zeke expressed the opinion of many people that he does not place much value on players who win immunity challenges, but I support the opposite view as expressed by Sophie Clark on Rob C's podcast. She noted it is extremely hard for an alpha player to win the game because they have a big target on their back. What people such as Culpepper and Mike Holloway have accomplished is extraordinary and should be valued just as highly as people such as Cirie and Sandra, who have brilliant social games. There should be more than one way to win Survivor. Although I feel that Brad should get credit for playing a good physical game, he did a terrible job of jury management. His management skills consisted of stupidity and arrogance. No one should ever believe that they can beat everyone. But Culpepper was counting his chickens, with apologies to Mark, before they hatch. It has been clear for several weeks that Sarah, by far and away, played the best game and deserved the win, but Culpepper was totally oblivious to the moves that Sarah was making, even though he had a front row seat to the move that Sarah pulled that took Cirie out of the game. I was shocked that no one ever made a strong move to get Sarah out of the game. Double ditto for Cirie. To the best of my recollection, at no point in the game was there ever a vote cast against one of the greatest players of all time. Finally, one more note about Cirie. I am a big Cirie fan, but all season I was waiting for her to get voted out, after which I was going to write to the podcast describing Cirie as an assassin disguised as a mom on vacation. I felt that I should make this statement now because I don't expect that she will play again, but she should be a chartered member of the Survivor Hall of Fame.
Amen.
All right. I agree, Ed. Thanks for that.
Up next, we got audio from Drew.
Hey everyone, this is Drew and Waffles. Just the boys this morning. I think Adelaide is waking up, but for now the girls are still sleeping. So we're going to do a quick recording about the Survivor season finale. So we won't be doing another recording for a while, Charlie. Yeah. When I was making my picks, I had it all worked out. And I thought, I said in my feedback, the only people I could really see winning were Cirie and Sarah. But then I kind of determined that Cirie would go first. And then I thought, I'm just going to go with my USB anyway. I didn't think they'd let Sarah get to the end. So I didn't even put her in the final 3. Anyway, I just totally... Let's see. I think I would have had the final 4 in order. I had 6 and 5 right. I think I would have had the final 4 in order if I switched 4th and 2nd and then 1st and 2nd. Pretty good, right? Right? So I got half. Anyway, when Joanne was reading off the side challenge results, I just was waiting for my name to come up, and it finally did, and it wasn't at the bottom, but I was pretty close. It was just one step away. The episodes, I guess, were still a fun end to a pretty good season, but I was kind of frustrated in the end, and the more I thought about it, the more I just didn't really love the result. I just don't really like Sarah, and I don't know why. I mean, she did play a good game, but I don't know, there was something off about it for me. And then when she won, it just seemed kind of like, well, hooray. I don't know. I know a lot of people really like her, but then it seems like some people don't. It's hard to tell why. I thought, man, Brad has his game face on. That entire final episode, he was like in the zone, and obviously it paid off because he kept winning, but man, that was some intense angry eyes there. And I didn't think that, I mean, I don't want to get too much into it. I didn't think there was so much bullying going on. I think it was manipulative, and he was kind of pushing Ty around. But I think bullying is a loaded term these days, and it means a lot more than just the dictionary definition. So I know it looked bad. But if Ty did the same thing to other people, I think that he would have gotten a pass. I think people wouldn't have considered it bullying then. So it was fine. It was good. And poor Troy. I have to say about the final tribal council format, I actually did like it at first, but then the more I thought about it, especially when I listened to your interview with Troy and Brad, I could see how it is kind of manipulative to the result, because people really can gang up on the final 3 and really sway the result. I think Andrea was going to vote for Brad. I think several of them, I had kind of looked at the lineup and I thought they would have voted for Brad, but then I think they changed their minds because of that, for better or worse. So I don't know. I think that Sarah would have won either way, but it still seemed a little bit iffy, so I'm sure it's a work in progress. But winner of the season, I guess Sarah or Cirie. Loser of the season, I'm going to give it to Ozzy because he bugs these days. Plus, he played 4 times and he still doesn't get it. Oh, P.S. I thought the reunion show was awful. Just awful. I completely managed my expectations about time management and talking to the different players, and still, it just seemed like it had agendas all over the place. Didn't enjoy it. Oh well. Anyway, I don't have much else to say. Do you have anything else to say, Charlie? No. Okay, how about you, Waffles? Purr. That's what Waffles has to say. All right, we got a busy day again, sunny Saturdays, so everyone have a great summer. I'm sure we will, and we will talk to you next season. Time to re-listen to JABBIC.
Kitty said that.
Kitty said what? Oh, Kitty said test. Kitty's here too, I should have mentioned. Charlie's fluffy friend. Okay, talk to you guys later. Oh wait, Adelaide's awake. Maybe she wants to say hello and goodbye. Okay, here's Adelaide. Baby, say hi. Hi. Say bye, Joanne and Stacy. All right, talk to you guys later. You two say bye. Purr.
That was pretty good, Adelaide.
Thanks, Drew. Thanks, Charlie. Thanks, Adelaide. Next up, we got an email from Brandon in Brooklyn. Wow, what a finale. I'm so happy for Super Sarah. She got redemption, and I'm so proud of her for winning. Her ability to flip-flop was awesome, and I loved it. Congrats to Brad and Troyzan for making it to Final 3. I know both of them were sad they couldn't play on second chances, but they got to the end on Game Changers. The final 6 tribal council was crazy. It stinks that Cirie went out that way, but I was glad she got a standing ovation because she played her heart out this season. The final tribal was interesting, but I'm not sure how much I like the jury having so much control with the conversations. It just felt like the people in the final 3 were spectators. I love Sarah's game compared to Brad's game. Brad had a difficult time winning immunities, but he didn't have to vote out as many people that he formed bonds with as Sarah did. Sarah made a lot of people drink the Kool-Aid. I didn't like how people felt Sarah was low for creating bonds and using that to vote people out. That is how survivors played. It's not her fault you believed in her. You should be mad at yourself for believing in her lies. The theme for next season is weird. I would hate to be on the hustle tribe because everyone will think I'm not trustworthy. I hope everyone has a nice summer. See you next season. Thanks, Brandon.
Now I know what I was going to say.
Okay.
Hustlers was a bad choice of word.
Brandon nailed it, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say earlier.
Good job, Brandon.
Because, that really does imply, to me, a hustler is like a pool shark or something. But
someone that's pulling a fast one on you?
Yeah. Instead of somebody
Charlie
that
Hustle?
just gets things done.
Yeah. Someone who's always working hard.
So, what other word could they have used? I guess that's the only H word they could figure out. But
yeah, because they wanted it to be that.
Had to be an H word.
that theme.
Okay, somebody think of it during summer. What other word could they have used?
And I'm just
what
with
other
Parker.
H word?
Maybe they'll grow up and eventually realize they don't need the themes. They just need a good cast. That's where you want to put it. Thinking that you're amping the story up with that stuff. Who knows? For us, for super fans, it doesn't work. We don't need it. So maybe it's not directed at us, and that's part of a problem. Well, we have a problem with it.
Well, I'm just going to call it Survivor 35.
Okay. That's a start. Thanks again, Brandon. Next up, we got a call from Kenny.
Hi, guys. It's Kenny from Dallas. I think Sarah deserved her win. She had a great gameplay, great awareness. She kind of reminded me of Tony when Tony won, and she apparently took notes from Tony. But how many times have we seen the loser take the wrong person with him or her to the tribal council? There may have been a deal between Sarah and Brad at some point, but still, Brad should never have taken Sarah. And Brad came across as a bully in the edit, so you knew there was probably no way he could really win because they would never want to reward a real bully. The way he treated Ty was very, very bad, even though apparently they have made up. By the way, he said he was to be arguing for $1 million, which he never did before. So what kind of trial lawyer is this? Trial lawyers always argue for multi-million-dollar cases. In terms of Cirie, I think she's one of my favorite players ever. I completely agree with Joanne. Cirie had the unfortunate circumstance for all physical challenges for immunity and no mental challenges, so she was kind of doomed. I think Jeff loves her, and we love her because she's likable, because she's got a good attitude, in addition to being in every kind of a person. Apparently she's a nurse. Let me tell you, if she ever wants to come to Dallas, I think she would be a tremendous nurse and a great asset. What a great attitude that she has. And I hope one day she comes back, and I hope one day there's a miracle and she wins. I thought the new tribal council was good. Some of the same speeches were given. Zeke for extolling Sarah's virtues, very much like Spencer extolling Tony's virtues in his season. Ozzy extolling Brad's virtues as an immunity beast, but immunity players rarely win in and of themselves, just winning immunities. Mike is an exception with the Worlds Apart season, which frankly was one of the weaker seasons recently, but Mike also had some gameplay. In the reunion show, I thought it was very good. There were no kids involved, which was great. He didn't cut to the audience during the regular episode, too, which I thought was strong. I would have liked to have heard more from Tony, but Sarah, I guess, spoke for him, and some of the other characters we didn't hear from, I really didn't care. I guess he couldn't hook Aubrey and Cochran up after all, but that's no problem. I hope he doesn't get desperate and try to hook Debbie and Cochran up. That would be a complete disaster. Well, next season we have Triple H, heroes, hustlers, and healers. I think Jeff was trying to hype it as a la the no-collar, blue-collar, white-collar season. I hope it's not like that because I didn't think that was that great of a season. But, it has the potential to be good. By the way, Fiji got very upset with their tourism bureau because the tourism bureau complained about all the sharks in the water, and people would be very scared to go to Fiji being eaten by sharks. So the original intent, I think, on Survivor for Triple H was to have hammerhead shark in the water. But this next season, I understand, instead they're going to have pictures of hamsters in the jungle, roaming the jungle. And, if someone wants to hoard food, it's like a hamster. They're going nowhere. It's like they're spinning wheels. As for the rank for this Survivor season, I give it about an average. I thought it was pretty good, not that great. I think Sarah had the edit where we kind of knew where it was going, and there were some pretty silly moves, but it was very entertaining. And if an average season to Survivor is 99% better than most other things on TV, what are we left with? The Predators and the Sharks. I think that'll be a very exciting Stanley Cup series. The Dallas Stars, by the way, are not too happy that you said that Troy Zan had a much better chance than they did. Troy Zan had a 0 chance. He checked out during the final tribal council. I guess as Brad kind of did, too. I think Brad saw the handwriting on the wall. I think you guys do a great job, and I look forward to hearing from you guys this next season. Take care. Bye.
Thanks, Kenny.
I really liked it when Sarah told us in her interview that Tony called her every morning for 2 months, and she listened to him, and she said she really thought he called her because his wife forbid him to speak about it anymore. He was driving her crazy.
Yeah.
He's like, you have to talk to me or listen to him. I think she more listened and made mental notes.
Yeah.
And I think that probably did help him. Kenny, thank you. I think you might have given me the new title for next season.
What's that?
I was resisting anything, but I like Survivor Triple H.
Okay.
I didn't like 3H, and I didn't like HHH.
Do you remember me telling you
Triple H,
that's a WWE wrestler?
Triple H?
Yeah.
Yes, I remember you saying something about that, but it just didn't resonate when you said
that's
it.
That's why it probably, it may not take off. Okay. All right. She likes it better when you say it.
Yeah, but
Kenny.
honey, I don't care if it takes off because, I only care what comes out my mouth. So, Triple H or Survivor 35.
That in the past.
Well, it's true. There you go.
Next up, we got an email from Shannon in Charleston.
Before we start, I will say that on Tuesday, I will be a graduate of 8th grade. Congratulations,
congrats.
Shannon. Going to high school next year. Last week, I couldn't send feedback because I was out of town on a chorus trip. This week, Cirie was voted out in history, and I felt so bad for her. But then I realized how happy she was to be here. I was happy that she came this far. I was putting Aubrey down to win, but I'm happy Dad talked me out of it. I'm just now remembering we were talking about putting Sarah as USB. Then I said, Michaela will win. I have faith in your old USB. Ty was voted out, but I saw that coming. Sarah won, but I was not wanting that because I didn't like how she was playing. Like giving Cirie the non-transferable advantage and just playing dirty. Even though that's how you play Survivor, when you play dirty, the dirt can wash off, but Sarah's can't because of how dirty she played.
Mm-hmm.
At the end, I wanted Troyzan to win, but he started to get a lot of backlash. That's all for now. All right, thanks Shannon. Good luck in high school next year. Up next, we have audio from BrandonA.
The Peace Bear is back.
What's up, Joanna, Stacy, and Survivor Clan? Good. Did I say Survivor Clans? Survivor fans. But we are kind of like a clan, I guess you could say, so maybe it fits. Nice big old Survivor fan family. It's good to be back on the podcast. I know I haven't sent in any feedback, I think, since the Varner vote out, and we know how crazy that was. I just want to say I really enjoyed this season. I'm sorry I wasn't able to keep up with feedback again. It's kind of been a trend over these past 5 or 6 seasons that, I start off strong in the beginning with leaving feedback, and then I kind of fall off of a cliff towards the second half. I think what it is, I just get behind, and I feel like if I can't keep up with the podcast, I shouldn't be calling in. That's just my own personal, I guess, guilt or whatever. Anyway, hopefully I can be more attentive. I'm going to try to make it a goal again all of next season to be able to contribute every week. But it was a great season. I think Sarah's a very deserving winner, and I'm just glad I didn't lose in JSFL because I was sweating bullets because it wasn't looking good for me week to week. So I still didn't finish all that strong, but I didn't lose. Next season, I hope to do a lot better, and hopefully I can win one of these things. I'm starting to enjoy not losing even more than the prospect of winning, just because I don't want to follow all these people that give these amazing songs and poems or these contributions at the end of the season. They're such good, epic works, and I don't want to have to follow them. And again, another great season, and I will talk to you guys again next season. All right, everybody, peace. Have a great summer.
Thanks, Brandon. We love it when you're able to participate. We miss you when you're not here, but we certainly don't want you to feel guilty about not feeling like you can participate. You're always welcome to send in your feedback, whether you're listening and caught up or not. So just keep that in mind. We don't want you to have any negative feelings towards this, or anyone else for that matter. We love having all of you as part of this big clan.
We love to hear your voice.
Yeah. Next up, we got an email from Josh the Plush Moose from Massachusetts. Dear Joanne and Stacy, I'm freshly returned from a week-long birding trip to the moosely ancestral bogs of Vermont's Northeast Kingdom. There was just enough time to see the finale and reunion show before writing this feedback. No podcast, no forensic rewatch, no bonus clips, no time for excessive rumination. I'm going into this feedback cold, but at least I'm no longer wet or muddy. My final observations for this season are as follows. Idlegeddon played out as I feared, with 5 of the 6 immune. Poor Cirie. In the end, 2 of the co-wrong 4 did band together, but it was too little, too late. I hate to see poor situational awareness rewarded. I don't think Troyzan had any thought of playing his idol until he saw how many others were immune. I'd prefer to see a Final Jeopardy approach where everyone has to lock in a play or don't play option for idols or advantages, and the play choices all get shown at the same time. My heart sank as I saw the challenges. All were retreads, with Mike Holloway, Wu, and Keith Nail winning in the original seasons. I wasn't surprised when Brad ran the table. The show went flat for me after Final 6. I could tell the Final 3 were a lock as long as they kept immunity wins within their group. I'm sorry, but pagonging is boring. So Ty's such a liar that a criminal cop and a deceitful bully can't trust him. Really? Kudos to Sarah for successfully navigating the swing vote position. Note to viewers at home, Brad isn't a bully, he just plays one on TV. I'm happy to see that parity reigns in the Culpepper household. Both finished second. I love the final tribal format, less grandstanding, more discussion, more informative for jurors and viewers alike. I wish Ponderosa Jury Reunion Michaela could have played the game. Non-bloody Troyzan plus non-bitter jury equals no votes. At the reunion, Jeff talked to 12 castaways and 0 audience members. Hooray! So, let me get this straight. In the case of a final tribal tie with 3 finalists, the one left out assumes the role of vice president in the U.S. Senate and breaks the tie, with no time to get different information or perspectives from the other jurors. Sigh. Now, I don't know if that last part's right, though, Josh. I think he does get to discuss with the jury.
Why would you assume that?
Because I'm pretty sure that's what Probe said. That was the way I understood it.
Oh, well, I don't remember.
All right, we'll go back and check. Go back and check, Josh. Oh, joy, another themed season looms. Heroes, healers, hustlers. How about a 4th H for hooey? Who else thinks the hustlers will turn into mad scientists infected with big move-itis? Yeah. So, what's the over-under on heroes or hustlers getting medevaced? I'm thinking 3. Interesting. Yeah, could be. Anyway, that's it from me for this season. Thanks, Joanne and Stacy, for all you do. Can't wait to hear what the other fans have to say. Have a good summer, everybody. See you in the fall. Thanks, Josh. Awesome as usual. Next up, we got audio from Nicola.
Oh no, it is getting close to cutoff time for feedback. So I figured I'd better record something really quick and shoot it off to you. Sorry about the lateness, Stacy. I haven't left feedback in a few weeks, 2 or 3, I think, because the end of the season kind of went blah for me. The finale was okay. I'm okay with the outcome, kind of like Joanne. I thought I would be okay with Culpepper winning, but after all the stuff with Ty and everything else, I was told my daughter, I was like, if he wins, I'm turning off and going to bed. I won't watch the rest of it. Thankfully, he didn't. Sarah won, so I did watch the whole thing. Yeah, I think the season started off so well and so fast. Everybody played hard. There were so many favorites in there to root for. And then it kind of tailed off at the end for me. But I hope everybody has a good off season. I'm looking forward to hearing everybody's feedback. And we will see you all again in September. I can't wait for the new season, as it will be all new players. Hopefully I'll do a bit better next season in JSFL, because this one was pretty pathetic. I think it was my worst outing yet. So thanks again for everything that you do, Joanne and Stacy, and everybody have a great summer. Stay cool.
Thanks, Nicola. Great to hear from you again. Next up, we got an email from Nina in Chicago.
Oh, hello there from your side challenge. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. So I have a few options for the losers to choose from, because I can't pick one, and I'm nice. I no matter the song, I'd like the parodies to be in honor of Sarah, as she won, and she was my USB, and my USB in her first season. All the songs are by women. Wahoo! Boss by Fifth Harmony. $1 Million Bills by Lorde. Applause by Lady Gaga. I'll be leaving voicemail feedback tomorrow. Okay, no voicemail feedback. I have strep and my throat is so sore I can't even really think of anything to say, because I can't think at all. Yay, I won the side challenge. I enjoyed the season and the twists, and I like the new tribal council format. What also made the season enjoyable is that I'm dating somebody, and while he doesn't care to watch the show, he asks me if I've made my picks on Thursday mornings, asks me how the show was and if I got all my points.
All right.
I'm hoping for next season that my nephew Liam will be talking and I can try and get him to say immunity and Culpepper. But we may have to wait until season 36 for that.
Okay.
Thanks, Joy and Stacy, for all you do. Thanks to the fellow podcast listeners for another fun season. See you all in the fall. All right. Thanks, Nina.
Yeah, 3 interesting song choices that Jody and Parker have to choose from there. That was very nice of you to give them a range. Next up, we got a call from Samantha.
This is Samantha, a.k.a. Survivor Rocks from Texas. Wow. What a finale. The final challenges were top-notch. I've been really pleased with all of the challenges all season long. The history-making Final 6 Tribal Council. Wow. All I can say is wow, jaw-dropping. Ty should have kept that one idol for himself instead of playing it for Aubrey. She was going next anyway. Poor Cirie. I felt so horrible for her. She has gotten so close and had it ripped away from her once again. As a viewer, it made great TV, but I think that was just not right. Unfair. Too many idols and advantages, perhaps. I think something else should have been done. Another challenge, everyone draw rocks, something. It wasn't fair since she didn't have one vote in the urn. I wasn't happy how that went down. The new format for Final Tribal Council. Wow, here comes another twist. Here's another wrench that Jeff is throwing into the fire. Survivor just keeps on changing it up, and I like that. That's why it has been on for 17 years. It keeps it fresh. I never really grew to jump on the Brad bandwagon. His true colors came out at the end. I didn't like the way he talked to Ty, and I knew his attitude would not get him the win. And what was with the burlap bag he was wearing? Sarah owned it and did great. I don't care what anyone thinks of Troyzan, but I've always liked him and I always will. Just something about him, I don't know, I like him. He was a class act and I had a twinkle and a tear in my eye and a smile on my face when he gracefully bowed out, so to speak. Well, I am impressed with Zeke. He can appreciate a good game, and well, I knew Debbie would be a bitter Betty towards Sarah for voting her out, but it has to be Ozzy, simply because he couldn't understand Sarah's gameplay and was only looking at part of the game in Brad's immunity run. He wasn't seeing the whole picture. He wasn't able to fully grasp the entire game. I don't know, maybe it was because he was out early. I don't know. But I still like you, Ozzy, this reunion show. I really enjoyed it. I would have liked to have heard something from JT. I couldn't stop looking at Brad's mustache. What was up with that? This season, well, it's not the worst, but it's not the best. I guess somewhere in between. Sarah deserved that win without a doubt. But I do believe that Cirie would have had this game had she not been dealt that such bad luck. Great job to everyone. It was good to see all of you again. Heroes versus healers versus hustlers. After coming off such a high season with Survivor veterans that I love, it's going to have to set the bar really high. I don't like the theme much, but some of the cast looks interesting. Have a great summer, everyone.
Thanks, Samantha. Great to hear from you again. Next up, we got audio from Jill.
Hi, Joanne and Stacey. Hi, Survivor fans. Jill from the Outback here. I must be running pretty close to the deadline. I'm pretty sorry about that. Time just gets away from me these days. I thought it was a pretty good end to the season, and I was really happy that Sarah won it. Probably after the merge, I was being a bit so-so about the whole season. Once the likes of Sandra and Tony left, it just sort of got a little bit boring in the middle there, but I've really liked how it ended up. Every season it seems that there's calls that, you know, such and such shouldn't have won it. And like it was like that with 1L Michelle. You know, she shouldn't have won it. She didn't do anything. But she did what she had to do to win that season. And when Debbie, remember when they had that tribal council and Debbie went idiots at the end of it? It was like, well, they're still in with it. You're the one sitting on the bench and they're still in with a chance to win the $1 million. So you have to wonder who the idiot was there. Really, they should probably all get $1 million for putting up with her. I tell you, it's a really good thing about living in the middle of nowhere like I do. I don't have to put up with anybody, let alone the likes of Debbie. Brad was being a bit heavy-handed with Ty towards the end there. Really didn't like the we're going to make a fool out of him talk. That wasn't good at all. I don't know if I would say that he was bullying, but Ty is such a sensitive, soft-hearted fella that you really got to lower your tone a lot with him, I would think. And Brad just didn't do that at all. I liked how they ran the final tribal council this time around. It let everybody have a bit of a say in each topic instead of them asking just the one question each. I liked how they did that. Brad didn't do himself any favours there. He, rolled his eyes at Michaela and that wouldn't have helped his situation. And Sarah, she talked through it really well. She was really eloquent and got her point across well without having to dig at anybody. I enjoyed the reunion as well. Not everyone got to have a talk, which would be nice to see everyone, but they didn't waste time on people in the crowd or anything like that. A couple of funny things when Aubrey was sticking up for herself about her crush on Cochrane. Like, you have a crush on him, Jeff. And he laughed and had to say that he did as well. And when he talked to Brad about misreading the jury, and Brad said clearly, I cracked up. Oh, next season, I wish they'd just call it Survivor Fiji instead of, trying to shoehorn people into these different groups. Okay, anyway, better go, guys. Thank you so much for everything, Joanne and Stacey. Love the podcast. And goodbye, everybody else. Hope you all stay safe until the next season of Survivor. Happy days, everyone. Bye.
Thanks, Jill. Next up, we got an email from James in Charleston. Hey, guys, a pretty good season of Survivor. I was skeptical before the season started, but I think they did a pretty good job of bringing it all together and serving up good family entertainment for our household. These last few episodes did feel a bit rushed, like when you're reading a really good book and at the end the author just wants to get to the end, so they cut it short. We did get to see some good strategy, but I felt like often we weren't quite given enough of the story. Great job by Sarah winning. She truly deserved it, and I don't think we can continue to say playing the middle is a definite losing strategy. I will admit that there was some small concern that Brad would pull off a win and leave a bitter end to a good season, but he had Debbie as his support, and that's a pretty good indicator that you're in trouble when you've got a nut job telling normal folks why you should win. I love Cirie, and if Sierra had given her legacy advantage to Brad instead of Sarah, the Cirie vote-off changes completely, with Sarah and Cirie being eligible and a good chance of different stories told, especially considering Jeff said Cirie had no votes in the urn. Wow. Interestingly, I feel there are a couple of people who I've come to new opinions on after watching and listening to them this season. First is Michaela. Jury Michaela is pretty awesome. Interview Michaela wins me over. If she had that level of groundedness in her game this season, she could have been a real threat. Next is Ozzy. I don't know what's happened to him, but I'm left with a pretty negative impression of him after the Tribal Council. I don't know if he was asked to champion Brad in order to give two opposing views or if he truly had those feelings, but he seemed way out of left field in his support. And the part about Brad playing like Ozzy did and how he had done it 4 times. Ozzy, you've done it 4 losing times. He is a Survivor legend, but not because he is a great strategist. He rocks challenges and gets wrecked in strategy and social games. I don't know, he seemed like he has a case of the big head. Plus, I like that. Plus, I get a pretty strong vibe of misogyny and bullying from Brad, and I'm not comfortable with people coming to his defense while my daughter is watching and potentially being taught that it's okay to be treated that way. Also, I'm not buying Brad's apology to Ty. It felt like he saw how bad it looked and was trying to cover himself, not that he didn't mean to come across that way and was sorry. I wonder if Troy called Brad out on Ty's idol and the fact that Brad was going to double-cross him even though he was trying to spin that as a positive. I don't know what it is about Ty that drives everyone so crazy on the island. Brad especially had it out for him, even though Ty was with him for what felt like a very long time. Ty used an idol to save their alliance. Brad tried to vote him off while they were still aligned, and then he felt like he had to punish him, even humiliate him in the end. A move that likely cost him a win. Sure, Ty can be influenced more easily than others, all the more reason to cultivate that relationship and give him security, because when you look back, Ty is a weapon, a missile of survivor destruction that wrecks plans and ruins games. I like that. Wasn't sure about the Tribal Council format, but it ended up pretty good. I enjoyed it and hope they continue these kinds of improvements. A gutsy call to change something so long-standing in the game. Of course, the cynic in me worries that they'll also manipulate a little to improve the edit by asking some jury member to pretend to support less worthy contenders. Also, I think they should go back to a final 2 if they keep the new format. Poor Troy might as well have joined the jury. He had no chance. Again, we find ourselves at that sad time when we have a long summer ahead of us without Survivor and SFP. This has been a great season for both Survivor and SFP, and I'm glad to say that I've been part of both. Thank you both for elevating Survivor for our family and sacrificing your time. I'm afraid I don't say that enough. And also thank you to the rest of the SFP family. Have a great summer and keep your torches lit. Until next time, thanks, James. Very eloquent. We appreciate that. Next up, we got a call from Jeremiah.
Hello, Joanne and Stacy. Hello, Survivor fans. This is Jeremiah here with some thoughts about this season's finale. And I must say I was very satisfied with how things ended. It's great to see my season 28 winner pick, Officer Sarah, finally come through for us. She really did play an excellent game, and you can definitely tell she was influenced by Tony. But just not as much flair, of course, as Tony has. And I definitely see her being the type of player who could do very well down the road, for sure. Now, granted, I would have loved to see our girl Cirie pull it off. But, man, she did go out in one epic moment that we will never probably forget. But I did feel like those full 3 hours was really good television this time around. Other things I loved other than the winner is I did really enjoy this open forum that they had during Tribal Council. I thought that really added to some really good conversations. And Joanne, I did think that one of the best parts about the reunion show was Jeff Probst giving Brad Culpepper such a hard time. That was beautiful. But some of the things I did not like about this finale definitely was Brad's porn stash. You know, I briefly saw him the day before, and I don't remember seeing that on his face. I wonder if he shaved and decided to go with that at last minute. Bad choice, guy. Obviously, the biggest thing that I did not like that happened during this season's finale was seeing our girl Cirie go out. Oh, I mean, nothing that she could do about it, but that was so heartbreaking. But you could certainly see that that was going to come for sure, right? As I mentioned on our Facebook group, we did get a chance to go up for some of the pre-party stuff on Tuesday, but due to work, I just didn't have enough time off to be able to justify going up there on Wednesday night. It's a very late night when you do all that stuff, and we just could not get out of work to do so. But I was able to meet a bunch of new survivors I have not met before, which I shared some of those pictures on Facebook, and that was great. Then I got to meet some of the people that I love, of course. Sandra, I got to talk to her again for a lot longer. She's so wonderful, Cirie. So it was just a great time, and I always enjoy getting to meet more Survivor fans as well. Stacy, I love that sinister laugh you had when you realized that I finished below you in JSFL. You will be glad to know that I also screwed up JSFL once again. I had the 6 perfectly right, which might have given me enough points to get above you. I'm not quite sure. I would have to do the math, but I don't think so. But I had it perfect, and I changed it at last minute, maybe an hour before the deadline. So even more reasons to make fun of me. But congratulations to our winner, Nina. Can't wait to hear what our 2 losers have in store. Oh boy, this is going to be exciting. But what a great season. I just want to thank all of the listeners for all their engagement on Facebook and on the podcast. And Joanne and Stacy, I want to thank you most of all for another amazing season. Thank you so much for all the hard work you do. And until next season, this is Jeremiah coming from Southern California.
Thank you, Jeremiah, and you do great work over there on the SFP fans page on Facebook. We always deeply appreciate that. Next up, we got an email from Kim J in Nashville.
Hi, Joanne and Stacy. I enjoyed the finale. However, I consider Game Changers to be just a good season of Survivor, not a great one. When I looked at the back row on the reunion show, I see Sandra, Tony, Malcolm, JT, and even Sierra Easton. I can't help but wonder what could have been had some of those players made the merge. I'm going to break this finale down into the good, the bad, and the ugly. First, the ugly, Brad Culpepper. He won a couple of immunity challenges and reverted right back to being a humongous jerk. I now wonder if he had really changed at all, as it appeared throughout most of the season. He treated Ty like dirt, and both Michaela and Haley said he wasn't nice to them, and Cirie hinted in her interview that there were others.
Yep.
I was even more frustrated that the girls voted out Andrea instead of Brad and forced us to have to listen to him all night. And what an idiot that he took Sarah to final 3. The other ugly is Ty. I'm sorry, but I'm so over his crying, wavering, flipping, flopping, reflipping, reflopping. How is he any different than Abby Maria? He's just as volatile and wishy-washy. Mm-hmm. Why on earth did he use an idol for Aubrey at Final 6 and then vote her out on Final 5? That made no sense. Sigh. The bad. I may be in the minority, but I did not like Cirie getting voted out with no votes. There were too many idols and advantages. It takes away all the fun if no one has to make a decision. Another bad was Haley. She was completely useless in the jury. She just sat there the entire time, and all she had to say is, "Well, this is really useful. Why was she asked back again? Please go away." The other bad was Troyzan. I'll remain silent on him, much like his presence all season. The good. I liked the new jury format a lot. I didn't really need Jeff to be the moderator with the whole social game, outplay, outlast stuff, but I thought the discussion format was an improvement and a lot more interactive. The other good was that Sarah won. She played the best game by far, and her win was well-deserved. Final takeaway, Cirie says get off the couch and just do it. So maybe I'll finally get the courage this summer to actually apply. I'll be catching up on more old seasons over the break. Have a great summer, everyone. All right. Thanks, Kim.
Excellent. You absolutely do that. Follow through, Kim. It's fun just going through the application process and thinking about those things and thinking about what you want to say. You'll be glad you did. Next up, we got audio from Jen.
Hi everyone, this is Jen in California. Well, before I get to my thoughts on the season and on the finale, I wanted to share with you an experience I had a couple of weeks ago that really just made my year, made my life. 2 weeks ago, I was at the Hollywood Bowl at a concert with my family, when by sheer luck, I ran into none other than the man himself, Jeff Probst. We were walking in, he was walking out, and we had the good fortune to say hello and exchange a few words with him. And it was only just a minute, but it's one I'll remember for a lifetime. He was so kind, shook our hands, talked to my boys about the show. We got a chance to tell him how much we love the show. And my husband and I were just so impressed about what a genuinely nice guy he is. And I just feel so lucky that I was in the right place at the right time and that happened. Like I said, it just made my day. We were thrilled. And I just wanted to share that with all of my Survivor friends. Okay, now for my thoughts on the finale. What a way for Cirie to go out. I can't say I was happy about it. I was really disappointed. I don't care if it's history. I don't know. I mean, it was amazing to watch it go down. I just wish that the person who went out wasn't Cirie. But that tribal council was definitely one for the ages. I like the final tribal council format much better than the other 30-some-odd seasons that we've had. Where was this all our lives? I just think we got so much more quality interaction between the finalists and the jury. So I vote to keep it. I think that made for the final tribal council to be just fantastic. Sarah is a winner. I'll take Sarah as a winner. I think that she won me over with her final tribal council statements. She really was very strong. Brad made so much of himself being, I'm a trial lawyer and I'm going to knock him out at the final tribal council. But he really didn't deliver. I waited for that knockout punch. I waited for that soliloquy, that monologue, that argument that was just going to make me say, yeah, Brad, you did it. But I really didn't see that from him. I saw that from Sarah. Sarah was steadfast in understanding how and why she got to the end and what her strategy was for getting there. She had a tough row to hoe, though. She did anger a lot of people. But I think that's the case with any Survivor finalist, and she handled it very well. And so, like I said, I wasn't surprised nor disappointed that she won in the end. I was extremely proud of Ty for not giving up either of his idols to Brad. I'm with you, Joanne. I just find it really hard to get behind somebody who resorts to bullying in any scenario. And even though I would have liked to have heard a good final tribal council speech from Brad, I really was not invested or interested in him winning because I just don't think you need to resort to that. It's better to make friends and then stab them in the back like Sarah did than to bully them to their face. That really hurt Ty. That's it for me. Thank you, Joanne and Stacy, for continuing to facilitate this forum where all of us who love the game of Survivor can come together and connect and share our love of the game. Have a great summer, everyone. Can't wait to hear from you all in the fall. Cheers. Bye.
Thanks, Jen. We're so happy you got to meet Probst.
Yeah, what an awesome experience.
Yeah, outstanding.
We know how that feels. We threw away plates of food. We saw Probst. We had just gotten there, gone around, and gotten to it, and we were like, yeah, forget the food. There's Probst. Let's go get in line to chat with him.
And then seeing Candace cut the line. I still remember that.
Well, she was a survivor, yes. John hadn't played yet. And so we let her and Taj go ahead. Well, we didn't let. We
didn't have a choice.
Yeah. Well, but we were lucky because, CBS Publicity saw us and called us up. So we can't complain.
That's right. So great you had that experience, and thanks so much for the feedback. We look forward to hearing from you again in the fall. Next up, we got Paul.
Hey, Paul in Louisiana here, and I can't believe this is our last feedback. It was a fun season for sure, but I always feel that way about Survivor. Even the average seasons are good for me. I just love watching all of that interaction. It's people at their best and worst, and hopefully I take something away from it all. I have to say that the maze challenge was great, but I thought it was misplaced when compared to the final challenge for making the final 3. When I saw the maze, I was thinking that the final challenge was going to completely blow me away, but, well, it didn't. As for the new final tribal format, well, I personally loved it. I hope this stays because to me it was the best part of the season. Yeah, for a while there I thought that Brad had it, but I think this format is more cathartic and helps alleviate the bitter jury by allowing everyone to get everything out. And yes, this is in stark contrast to how I feel about the regular tribal councils, where I think the lack of control ruined things. But the difference is that there was no whispering. Everything came out and I loved it, and I hope we see it more often. Now, I'm glad that Sarah won because I feel she deserved it more than anyone. She's really grown and I really like her as a player. She's made moves, she's played socially, and she outlasted. So I feel she's a well-rounded player, which I respect more than someone who relies on just, say, a social game. Sadly, the people who play strong physical games always have a huge target on their back, so Ozzy never really had a chance. It's a shame, though, because on a brains versus brawn versus beauty season, he could go anywhere now that he's got that haircut. He'll look even better when he decides to get the front cut as well, but as it stands, it's a huge improvement. And Brad at the reunion show was bringing back memories of my 1970s high school shop teacher. The porn stash was what really cinched it for him, but the too-tight clothing was 70s all the way for me. Well, the red socks were a bit anachronistic, but they could easily be overlooked. Still, I have to admit that I felt sorry for him as he sat there looking so forlorn. He was not having a good time, and honestly, if he hadn't blown up so badly with Ty, things might have gone better for him, even with Sarah sitting next to him. I just wish Jeff didn't push that live revote, though. That was like rubbing salt in Brad's wounds. He knew what they were going to pick. So, I enjoyed it, but my favorite moment of the season was when Michaela asked Brad to go fish. Like before we vote you out. My eyes were rolling worse than Michaela's ever could when she tried to knock him off course from his idol hunting. And the worst moment was obviously Jeff and Zeke, but I would like to throw out a huge honorable mention to Cirie, who was voted off because she was the only person who wasn't immune at Tribal. What a sad way to end a game, even though I didn't see any way she could have won the season. You all know how I feel about the idols and advantages, so enough said. So I guess that's it. I'm going to really miss our little weekly get-togethers, but mark my words, we'll be back here before you know it. Joanne and Stacy, all my best to the two of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You make a good thing even better. And to all of you out there who have contributed to these podcasts, thank you as well. Everyone influences me. And agree or disagree, I love it all and wouldn't have it any other way. Take care now and enjoy that summer. Bye.
Well said.
Thanks, Paul. Yeah, we feel that way too. I don't even want everybody to agree with me. I don't even want you to agree with me all the time.
Fortunately.
That's not a problem.
Oh, thanks to everybody who took the time to send in your thoughts about the finale on this holiday weekend, and to all the folks who've contributed throughout the season. There would be no listener feedback show without you. We also want to say a big thanks to Hazel and Emily for your subscription donations. We greatly appreciate it. We also want to mention a big thanks to Paul for his awesome roster that we use every week and when we're recording. It's always up when we're recording.
It makes it so much easier for us to keep track of what's happening throughout the season.
And for creating our logos on the JSFL website. Huge thanks to Steve for creating and maintaining the JSFL website and running it by hand when he has to, when they throw us curves.
Yes.
Yeah, he makes it possible for us to add that extra excitement to our Survivor experience each season. Good job, Steve. Jody and Parker, we're looking forward to hearing you perform for us. Please submit your songs before the JABBIC show Part 2 next fall, though you can send it sooner if you choose, and we'll have it ready to go.
That's right. Anything else you want to talk about the season? You
No.
talked out. Do you think you would feel better about the overall season, say had Cirie and if the other three made it to Tribal Council? Do you think you would have felt any different?
Oh, if Cirie had won? Sure. Yeah, it would have been just like so many people in the listener feedback show mentioned. Yeah, had she somehow managed to get there and won, then it would have changed the temper and the tone of the whole thing for me, I think.
Yeah, I kind of thought so too, that would have altered the overall feeling.
Yeah.
Because individually, you're right, there were just lots of amazing episodes this season.
I know I enjoyed it as we were going.
Yeah.
Piece by piece. It's just the
You're
whole.
like, well, as a whole, I don't.
It doesn't right now. We'll give it time.
Right now,
let
yes.
it simmer.
Okay.
And then think about it again later. So we did, doggone it, I can't remember the person's name, the tweet. They asked us about seasons they were going to binge and what seasons do we recommend. Anyway, I'll make sure to respond to on Twitter so that person gets a specific answer. But one of the answers, a set of the seasons we always mention is Micronesia, the fans versus favorites, one. Heroes versus villains. You always like to mention Pearl Islands. And the thing about Heroes versus Villains and Micronesia is their prereqs. To really get the full appreciation and experience,
you have to
because they
watch
have so many
everything before
returnees.
that.
Yeah, you want to see those returnees previous seasons so you can...
Therefore, I would recommend start with season 1 and just make your way through.
That's it. Get a CBS All Access where they're all there and just have at it, huh?
That's
Something
right.
to do in the off season. I think we've got Alone coming. You and I have just been enjoying Forged
from Fire or with fire?
Forged in Fire. Yeah. For some reason, we're watching a blacksmithing show.
I know. We watched the weirdest things.
Yeah.
But we've totally enjoyed it. And there's just several seasons worth that we have to catch up on.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, boy.
Yep.
That's one of our big things.
Game of
now.
Thrones will come back in July, so we'll be looking forward to that. I think we're probably going to go back and rewatch some old seasons. Huh?
Yeah, maybe.
Seems like we're talking about it, so
Yeah.
it's been a while since we binged out on some.
Well, we just haven't had any time, really.
Yep.
But it's summer, so yeah, we can do some of that now.
The off season, get a break. We'll recharge and get ready for the return with Triple H in the fall.
Yeah. Okay, we hope you all have a great summer, and we'll see you back here for the JABBIC show for season 35.